it was paid by Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa to assault the character of retired General Chiwenga, has actually made serious allegations against Chiwenga, and he has said Chiwenga has become ZANU PF's #1 opposition. It indicated earlier that he touched on his actually marriage. He focused on quite a number of issues. In fact, he has been calling for retired General Chiwenga to resign from ZANU PF. It must be understood that when Temba Mliswa speaks, he's not speaking on his own accord, but Temba Mliswa represents the bedroom of Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, and he is pushing the agenda of Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa as well as Gudawashe Takwire. We know that in Zimbabwe, the #1 enemy for Mnangagwa is none other than retired General Chiwenga. Greetings and welcome once again to your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. So, former legislator, that is Temba Mliswa, turned an ex-troll for Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, has leveled serious allegations against Vice President Constantino Chiwenga, labeling his conduct unbecoming of a statesman, questioning whether he would be a good presidential material. He went on accusing him of being ZANU PF's #1 opposition during an appearance on Citizens Voice Network, Big Talk. Mliswa demanded transparency regarding the VP's wealth, specifically referencing his time in the army and 15 billion diamond inquiry. Mliswa raised the contentious personal issue of Chiwenga's wife, Mary Mbayiwa, alleging she has been denied medical access. Now you can see that it's an individual who is pressing, in fact, the buttons that is not supposed to press. This is meant to make retired General Chiwenga to be furious and respond. Also, this goes to tell you that temperatures are rising within ZANU PF. Why so much assault on retired General Chiwenga? It is because Mnangagwa is feeling the heat. He opposed his 2030 term extension agenda. He is opposing, in fact, 22 constitutional changes that Mnangagwa is in the process of implementing them. And you see, they are making a lot of accusation, going to as far as blaming him for the 15 billion. We always heard that 15 billion disappeared from the coffers of the state during the government of national unity. Is it true that this 15 billion was actually, it's Chiwenga who is answerable to this 15 billion? I don't think so. This is just a political statement. We know that the military during that particular period of time was used by Robert Gabriel Mugabe, obviously to kill people at Chiazwa Diamonds, but to actually accord this action to one man, I don't think that is actually proper. This is an assault. This is meant to tarnish his image. This is meant to provoke him. It's a serious provocation that has been done by Temba Mliswa, even going personal with retired General Chiwenga. Of course, we've seen people arguing political, but they don't go to an extent Temba Mliswa is becoming personal, even interrogating the relationships, marital relationships that Chiwenga has had. This is how ZANU PF is. When they come after you, they come after your marriage, they come after everything that you may have possessed. They come after everything that could be easily weaponized and be at their disposal. This is what we see them doing to retired General Chiwenga. But I think these are the last kicks of a dying horse. Now, Temba Mliswa, speaking separately from his comments on Constitutional Amendment Bill 3, Mliswa directed sharp criticism at the Vice President, labeling him ZANU PF's number one opposition and questioning his loyalty to the party decisions. So, is he supposed to be loyal to party decisions even though they go against the ethos, the principles, founding ethos and principles of that particular political party? Mliswa asserted that Chiwenga's conduct falls short of expected standards of a national leader, so he's disqualifying him to be a national leader, constructing his behavior with that of past leaders who never publicly disrespected the president. He has become ZANU PF's number one opposition. Mliswa charged, alleging that the vice president has failed to support decisions made by the majority within the ruling party. And this goes to explain what I was just saying in the previous live broadcast, when Owen Muta was lying, saying ZANU PF unanimously endorsed 2030 term limits and 22 changes to the constitution. Chiwenga, as well as also Ansela Msinyatwe, were actually objected to this. They objected. It wasn't unanimous. That is a lie. It's a desperate lie. The former MP suggested that Chiwenga's actions undermine party unity and democratic decision-making processes. So, if you listen to the language used by Temba Mliswa, that Chiwenga's actions, which means Chiwenga is still standing firm, that Mnangagwa, you cannot mutilate the constitution of 2013. He's saying this is an attack to, in fact, there is absolutely nothing democratic. In fact, what Chiwenga is fighting for, he is fighting for democracy, because he's saying properly undertake the process, not because he supports the process, because he knows the process will fail. That is why he is telling them properly undertake processes. That is, follow section 3281 of the constitution. That is to subject the changes that you want to initiate to a referendum. And ZANU PF, he knows that the people of Zimbabwe will definitely thwart this if it goes through referendum. And Emmerson Mnangagwa and his people understand this very, very well. So he is, actually, trembling on retired General Chiwenga. Mliswa opened the discussion by framing the amendment debate within the democratic principles, noting that democracy allows the majority to have their way while the minority have their say. He stressed that the constitution contains provisions for its own amendment, and that changes are permissible if proper procedures are followed, of which in the case of Zimbabwe, proper procedures are not followed. He said the current government should be commended for allowing open discussion and debate on the bill. There is absolutely no open discussions. This is propaganda that is actually said by Temba Mliswa. Blessed Mhlanga spoke about this bill and expressed his opinion regarding this bill. They are threatening to arrest him when he comes back to Zimbabwe. Mliswa said, contrasting the present administration with its predecessor, he emphasized that democratically elected leaders make decisions affecting all citizens regarding whether they voted for them. You see, when host Costa questioned the rationale behind extending President Mnangagwa's term beyond 2028, Mliswa introduced a soccer analogy describing the proposed extension as extra time or injury time to accomplish what was intended during the initial period. Costa challenged the analogy, pointing out that injury time in football compensates for specific stoppages like COVID-19 and Cyclone Idai disruptions that occurred earlier in the current term. Mliswa countered that unforeseen circumstances continually arise, affecting the ruling party's ability to deliver on its manifesto promises. So as I think I've explained this, that it's like you are losing, then first half you have been played, second half, because you see you are losing, now you extend time, hoping that you will actually win the match. I think this will not work. We expect temperatures to rise as they are rising, and we expect a lot of actually breaking news to be the order of the day. From now going onwards, I've said we are living in the period of breaking news. I hope we'll have the energy and the power to keep you updated. Thank you very much for watching us. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and send us stars. Umhlabane is signing off. Let me love and leave you.